Hey everyone, welcome back to By Devin Nails. I'm so excited to see you. Hello to all of my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, remember you always can, and I love when you like and comment. So let's get started. This is my ambassador nail mail from Nellie Belle's. I'm so excited to be one of their guest ambassadors this month. This is my second nail mail from them, and they have just such a great collection. I was originally drawn to them because of their amazing glitter and chunky dip mixes. They also have a really great collection of some solids with shimmers, and I'm super excited to be breaking into this package. Nellie Belle's had me choose 2 from their website, and then they surprised me with 4 more colors. So some of these are a surprise to me as well. So we're going to start with this one here. It is called Tia, and it is a gorgeous teal sparkle. So you'll see it when I break in here, and especially when I swatch, that it is so pretty. It is teal, and then it is such a great mix of some darker teal pieces, some kind of gold pieces, and then some greener pieces, which are really just going to create this really dynamic teal color. So I am going to swatch in this video. I just think it's so fun to show how the colors look on a swatch stick. Many of these colors look really very similar to how they look in the jar, but if you've been dipping for a while, you probably know also that sometimes how it looks in the jar is very different once it's activated, and that gorgeous top coat, which is just going to bring everything together. When I was swatching these, I found them to be incredibly easy to work with. These are really great glitters if you are somebody who is newer to dipping and you're a little intimidated by some of those like super chunky glitters, or if you don't like that super chunky look but you still want some razz and dazz, this is a great collection. So the next one is one that I chose. I think it's called Cash, or maybe it's Cachet. I don't know. I shouldn't have chosen it because I knew I was going to make this video and I knew I was going to embarrass myself by not knowing how to pronounce it out loud. But I was super drawn to this dip because it felt really different. It gives me a little bit of like Mardi Gras feel with the gold and the purples and the reds and the greens. But I think it's going to be really fun for summer also. And I just didn't have something like this in my collection. It is all these kind of smaller, not fine, but smaller glitters. They are that round shape, and you'll see here on the swatch stick that it just creates this really pretty combination when they're all put together. And I love the gold. As I've gotten older, I've become more and more drawn to gold. I remember when I was younger, I really didn't like yellow gold. And now, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older and wiser, but I just love yellow gold. So I love this dip. These went on really, really great. And I just pressed them down just the littlest bit onto this swatch stick, then found a little sticky spot. So I just added a little bit more. You could definitely, these are big enough that if you had like one of those wax, what are they called? Like wax pens, you could pull out some of the individual colors, make some fun designs on another nail. All right, let's move on to the next one. This is And I Am Tealing You, which is so pretty. It is a teal color and it has just a little shimmer in it, and it is a little bit more translucent. So you could definitely do some really fun color block, or not color blocking. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? Well, you could do color blocking with it. It'd be gorgeous with color blocking. But these translucent colors that are a little bit more jelly, like this one, are really fun for a peekaboo. And oh my gosh, look at just like right now with them all 3 next to each other. I think these colors could be really pretty together. I maybe wouldn't have put them together, but now seeing them right there, I'm like, I'm going to do this. So watch out for that. This kind of, that really darker teal with then this kind of lighter jelly teal and then that gold in there. I think it's going to be really cool. This was a super smooth dip to dip into. There's no like hard pieces of dip in here. It's definitely going on super smooth and pretty streak free, especially even just one dip. So you could easily make this a really cute ombre too. And then this is Pretty Poison. So it is a green color that pulls a little bit more light or lime green to me. It has these really pretty color shifting pieces of glitter in there. And then some fun kind of like foily flaky pieces, not very big ones. So they're just enough to like catch the light and then to give some kind of extra rainbow colors. You can see in the jar here, there is so much going on, but on the swatch stick, it looks really cohesive and super pretty. So this is Pretty Poison. And I really I'm just staring at my swatch stick while recording this and noticing all of these colors that I didn't even notice the first time. And because it has so many different colors, especially with this kind of color shifting glitter inside of it, you could pair this with so many different things. I think it would go really well with like a dark blue, because there's some like dark blue kind of foily flaky pieces, but I'm also seeing some like pinks, and it might be really cool with like a black, with like a color block. So I'm super excited, and even all by itself because there's so much going on here. So this next color is called Gemma, and it is a pink color that pulls a little bit more to the purple, and it also has just a really great mix of other smaller and then a few bigger chunky pieces in here. It reminds me a lot of kind of like a pink version of Tia with all of the things that are mixed in. So I think that's super fun. And one of the main kind of medium-sized glitters that I'm seeing in here is this dark blue color, which I think Nellie Belle does such a great job of this. It is not a color that I would have thought, oh, let's do a purpley pink with a dark blue in there, but it really is working so well. And the darker blue ones that I was just talking about, they have a little bit of a color shift too when they hit the light, turning kind of like a dark blue to like a teal, which would make it go really well with Tia because it has sort of that same kind of color in there. So like putting these two with then another really pretty like pink or a more solid teal like those others we saw, I think that would be really cool. And then there are just a few pieces of chunky, so you could hand place those to get them exactly where you wanted, or even pull those out and make a cool pattern on another nail to kind of make this cohesive look using one dip in a lot of different ways. And now we're on to that last number 6, Flocking Fabulous. I love that name. It's so fun. And this is a lot like And I Am Tealing You. It is a more translucent kind of jelly color, but definitely builds really nicely on itself. So if you're looking for full coverage and not kind of that jelly translucent look, you would just need to do another layer and you would get the exact look that you're aiming for. Just so fun in a dip to be able to use it many different ways. And you can see here in the jar that there are these just slightly larger pieces of glitter that are just a little bit darker, and when they catch the light, it is so fun. This is going to be a really pretty color. If you needed a palette cleanser and did this as like a one color mani, or even combining it with any of these other more going on glitters, it would be a really cute look. I'm even thinking that it could be kind of cool to see what it might look like matte. And I always love a color like this that has a lot of color but isn't super dark, because it's really fun for stamping, because you can still see all of your vibrant colors from stamping, and then you have this little sparkle underneath it. So I'm excited to see how I'm going to use this. I actually think that this is going to be one of the first colors that I use, and I think I'm going to combine it with some of the colors that I had from a few months ago. So I have a few colors. I've got this, like, it's called Meteorite, and it's like a dark gray with some different color shifting in it. Definitely like a fun space feel. So I've got that. And then I have this beautiful color called Dragonfly. It has all of these different little flaky pieces in it. So Nellie Belle's has just some amazing dips. If you haven't checked them out, please do. They are a Black owned business, which I think is amazing. And so it's another great reason to support them. And they ship super fast, and all of these dips were super easy to work with. I'm just going in and giving a second coat to each of these. I always try to do 2 coats on my swatch stick so that they're consistent, so I know if a color is going to need a few more layers. But as you see here, you could have totally gotten away with 1 layer for all of these. The 2 that are the more translucent, you would maybe need more if you're not going for that translucent look. And all of these powders were super fine. So if you're looking to do an ombre with like tapping it out of the jar, that's going to work really well. And the shine on these is so excellent. I can't wait till we get to the end of the video and you can see them all close up and really see how sparkly they are. They're amazing. And this is such a great representation of all of the dips that she has on her site. So if you haven't yet, please check them out because they are amazing. Going in for that top coat now just to give them a little bit more sparkle. So pretty. And let me know in the comments if there is a combination of these colors that you'd like to see. If you want to see some things together or a pattern that you'd like to see. Definitely let me know because I'd love to show these colors off exactly the way you want them showed off. I love the top coat part. They're so shiny. And look at all these glitters on my mat. I'm so messy when I dip. I like constantly have glitter everywhere. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at these. So beautiful. All right, y'all, this has been By Devin. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.